So now we will see box model in CSS. So guys, basically in CSS, the term box model is used when talking about design and layouts, and this we are going to check with the help of examples as well. The CSS box model is essentially a box that wraps around every HTML element. So guys, whatever HTML element that you write in your web page will have the CSS box model that will be applied behind the scenes, and it will consist of the various components that is in the sequence. We have the content first, and then outside the content we will be having the padding that we will be specifying in our CSS file. Outside of the padding we have the borders, and then followed by the margins from all the four sides, and this is the components of the box model in CSS. So guys, if you see, this is the example of box model in CSS. So first of all, we have content in the middle over here, and then which is surrounded by the padding element which we specify in the CSS file. If there is no padding element that we have specified, so this padding will not occur and it will be 0 pixels when we see the box model on the web page. Apart from that, we have the border as well, which surrounds the padding of the web element over here, and then followed by the margin from all the four sides in this case. And this is the box model in CSS, that every HTML element will be represented when you inspect them on your web page. So guys, let us check this with the help of example in VS Code over here. So basically we are going to remove the previous lines of code that we had written from the HTML file as well as the style.css file over here. So guys, we do not have any content right now, so basically we are going to have a simple div over here. So let's say we provide the div element, and then let's say we simply provide a test statement, that is, this is a test div element. So guys, basically we have a very simple statement, that is, this is a test div element over here. Let me just save this file now and try reloading this page on the browser. So as you can see, this is the div element that we can see. Now guys, let us provide some styling over here. So let's say we provide a background color to this particular div element. So we will be providing the background color property inside the style.css file over here. So guys, this particular file is being linked to the HTML file by using the link tag in this case. So basically we are going to provide the tag name, that is div in this case, and then inside this we are going to provide the background color property. So let's say we want the background color to be yellow in this case. Let me just save this file now and try reloading this page once again on the browser. So as you can see, we have a background color that is yellow over here. Now guys, let us say we want to see the box model for this particular div element. So what we can do is simply we have to right click on this HTML element over here, and as you can see we have this inspect option. So when we click on this inspect option, on the right hand side you can see the CSS properties that are being provided to this div element over here, and when you scroll down you can see that this is the box model for this particular HTML element. So currently we have only the content of this div, that is, this is a test div element, and it is being highlighted in green color right now when we get the cursor on this content over here. And as you can see, this content is being surrounded by the padding which is currently not being defined, and then followed by the border, and then we also have the margin in this case. So guys, let us provide all these components in the style.css file one at a time over here. So what we will do is, let's say we provide padding in this case of 5 pixels from all the four sides. So let me just save this file now and try reloading this page once again on the browser. So as you can see, we have provided the padding to this content, and the padding can be reflected on this background color over here. We have certain spacing in between the border of the background color and the content itself. So when we check the box model right now, as you can see, for the padding part we are getting the 5 pixels over here as the number from all the four sides, and it is being highlighted as light green color right now on the UI as well, that is wrapping the content. So basically this is the content that is being highlighted in light green color, followed by the padding which is now getting highlighted. Now guys, let us provide the border as well for this particular HTML element. So let's say we provide the border shorthand property, and in this case we provide 5 pixels solid border which is going to be in the black color over here. So we have provided 5 pixels solid border type and the border color is black. So let me just save this file now and try reloading this page once again on the browser. So as you can see, we have the border that is of the width 5 pixels in this case. So let me just show you the box model over here. As you can see, the border is also getting highlighted now and it is being represented on the box model as well. So this is the way that you can apply the border and check in the box model in this case. Now guys, the last thing, that is margin, needs to be applied to this particular HTML element. So let us apply that as well. So over here we will provide margin and then 10 pixels of margin from all the 4 sides. So let me just save this file now and try reloading this page once again on the browser. So as you can see, if you scroll down, we have the margin of 10 pixels from all the 4 sides. So this is the brown color that we can see, that is at the outside of the HTML element, which represents the margin of the HTML element. So guys, this is the sequence that you should remember whenever you are going to study more about the box model in CSS. First of all, there is a content. As you can see, this is the content of the HTML element, which is then wrapped by the padding property of the HTML element, which is then again wrapped by the border property of the HTML element, and then followed by wrapping by the margin property of the HTML element over here. So it is very important that you understand the sequence of the box model over here so that you can distinguish between the margins and padding. So basically the padding comes inside the border and the margin comes outside of the borders over here as far as box model is concerned. Now guys, when we provide the width and height attributes, basically these attributes will be applied to the content of the HTML element and not on the other attributes. As you can see, the padding, borders and margins of the HTML element. So let us apply the width and height attributes for this particular HTML element over here. Currently, if you see inside the box model, the width is 855 followed by the height, that is 18 pixels over here. So what if we provide the width of 500 pixels in this case? So let us provide that as well. So over here, when we provide width as 500 pixels over here, let me just save this file now and try reloading this page once again on the browser. So as you can see, the width of the div element is being reduced now to 500 pixels. Let us check the box model over here. So it is 500 multiplied by 18, which means only the content of this HTML element is 500 pixels and not the width of the entire box model over here. So 500 is the width of the content followed by the padding, which is again 5 pixels from the left and 5 pixels from the right, which makes a total width of 10 pixels over here. Again, we have the border of total 10 pixels as far as width is concerned, and the width of the margin will be 20 pixels, that is 10 pixels on the left and 10 pixels on the right. So basically the entire width of the box model over here will be 540 pixels, whereas the width that we had provided was 500 pixels, and this will only reflect to the content of this div element that you can see over here, which is a simple text in this case. So guys, you should remember this whenever you are going to apply the width and height attributes as well. So if we provide the height property as well over here, we need to provide height of, let's say, 100 pixels in this case. Let me just save this file now and try reloading this page once again on the browser. So as you can see now, we have 500 multiplied by 100, which is the width and height of the content of this HTML element, which is getting highlighted with the light green color. Now guys, in order to make the entire box model have the width of 500 pixels and height of 100 pixels, what we can do is we can provide the box sizing property. So over here we have something called as box sizing property in this case. So this is the property that we can use with the value that is box border. So guys, this will tell the CSS in order to have the width and height that is being provided inside this div tag over here to be applied to the entire box model. So let me just save this file now and try reloading this page once again on the browser. So now if you see, we have 480 multiplied by 80 as the width and height of the content over here. So basically the content width and height will be adjusted after providing the required spacing for the padding, borders and the margins as well if they are provided inside the CSS file. So guys, basically this is the way in order to provide the entire width and height that is being specified over here inside the CSS to the box model of the HTML element. So simply you can use the box sizing property with the value that is border box over here. So guys, comment in the comment section below whether you have learned something out of this video. Please make sure that you like this video so that it reaches to more people, and subscribe to this channel so that you get the notifications on upcoming videos as well. The next video that we are going to talk about is outline property in CSS. So stay tuned.